Hi, good morning. My name is Yoofi from Ashesi University, and I'll be speaking on digital tools to improve international collaboration in distance education. Now, when I graduated high school a year ago, most of my friends left the country to go to university because it's the norm in my high school to leave the country to go to university, but I decided not to. I decided to go to Ashesi University. It wasn't an easy decision, and my parents sure weren't happy about it, but I did. Now, as with any choice, there's this feeling that there's something you missed out on. So you like the decision, but you feel like there's a part you missed out on. What if you could get what you were forsaken? And earlier this year in January, I embarked on a project, and that made everything clearer, and it's what I'm going to talk about today. Now, the problem we are looking at is lack of cross-cultural collaboration and innovation in tertiary institutions. Now, we have very few institutions collaborate with other institutions, other countries and continents in the country. Now, the benefits of cross-cultural collaboration is that it deepens your knowledge base on what you learned in your regular class, and it gives you an active role in the learning process. It also gives you the chance to gain mental models on how to think about different things. The lack of it means we are missing out on all these benefits. Now, this is a picture of Africa as far as technology is concerned about 10 years ago. Our penetration rates were very low in 2007, especially as compared to everything else, but things are changing. It's projected that in 2020, 3G will make up close to 51% of connections, and 4G would rise to 6%. And there's also increased investment by operators in infrastructure to expand coverage to more areas, almost 14 billion projected to 2020. So there's money being invested in resources, but what are we doing with them? So what if a child in Somalia or Kenya or Libya or Egypt who sits in his classroom and interact with lecturers or students and gain experience from Harvard or Brown University, all for the same course of his personal education? That is what we can use the technology. And at Ashesi University, we explored this with the Ashesi Design Lab Deep Dives project. Now, what happened was Brown, the company approached Ashesi University to help with the design project called the Deep Dives. Now, Brown is a product that sources, develops, and markets tools for a better life. So, tools to make your work more efficient and easier. Now, they do this thing called the Deep Dives, where they go to rural communities and emerging markets to find opportunities for product development innovation. So they came to the Ashesi Design Lab, which embodies design thinking in Ashesi. Design thinking is a problem-solving process that is user-centered and leads to creative solutions. It takes a system perspective and a process perspective as well to go through steps to produce creative solutions. So they came to the Ashesi Design Lab and also to Brown University in the USA to help design a product for a particular need. But we had to find a need because that's part of the design process. So we had the team from the Ashesi Design Lab collaborating with engineers from Brown University to develop a product. Now, there was a big problem space. We chose the village around Ashesi to look at the problem space. And one thing we noticed was there was sort of a difficulty in carrying household items. It seemed very trivial, but we wanted to look more at it. So we wondered how might we improve domestic transportation, because we realized that women and children couldn't carry water from the general boreholes in That's what we started with. So it was a combination of weekly meetings with the students in Brown University and Ashesi over Google Hangouts. That's what we used. And this was some of the things we looked at. We looked at various carrier devices to help improve domestic transportation. We made a number of prototypes. So the Ashesi Design Lab was responsible for the user-centered ethnographic research. We were to find out what people wanted, how could they work, what would they look like, what would like what to look like. And the Brown engineers worked more on the product development, creating prototypes and what it would look like. It was all we're going parallel to each other at the same time, but working on two different things. Now, this is what we wanted to make because we thought it was an interesting idea. But as we went to realize that there was very little money to be made in a water carrier because that was Boro's main priority, making something that we can sell. So look at market carts, how we can improve or create a local market shopping cart. They call it the babushka cart in some places. So this was all going on at the same time, and the tools we used to facilitate the whole project were these. We used Google Hangouts for our weekly meetings, and this was helped by the fact that we had stable internet connection. Also, we had to make do with different class times and different time zones. So those in America had different time zones. We had to plan the different times to meet. So we used Google Calendar to help us do that. And we also use Google Docs because sometimes people were not available on the call. So we leave information on Google Docs, so as share our files and information. So it's more of asynchronous communication using Google Docs. We also use Google Drive to share files between everyone. So anything we saw, we left on Google Drive for the Brown University students to look at when they had their time. So this was going back and forth for a while. Then they actually came down to Ghana about 2 months ago to Kofredia, so that's where we were last month. And we're actually going down to the markets to actually create a product. And it was a bit difficult for some of us because I have personally never lived in Kofredia before. It was quite an experience because it was more crowded than what I'm used to. And I was also with a foreigner who had to speak to the market people to ask for things. So they didn't understand his accent. So you speak, then they'll just look at me to translate the same English but in my accent. And another challenge we also had was the language barrier because people didn't understand the language well, but the design process helps us find information without doing that. He was also being called Obroni all the time. He did not really like it, and everyone thought he had loads amount of money just because he was white. Those are some of the challenges we went through. And after the period of May, that's when he was here, he left to the US, and we're going to continue, and he's going to use it as his Brown University capstone project. His final year project actually creates a product for Brown. So now we have distant virtual collaboration. He actually came down, and now I'm going to do virtual collaboration again. And it's all seamless and moves smoothly through. All made possible by the use of these tools to facilitate everything. Now, what that helped us was the Ashesi design students had hands-on experience with actually creating a product and performing research for a real company, for a real need. At the same time, the Brown University engineering students actually got hands-on prototyping skills. What they had learned in school, they actually made something for a real company. And at the same time, there was a sharing of ideas between the two, because the Brown University students could see things in a different way, from more of an engineer's point of view. We look at things from a design point of view, but we were able to share ideas. So we learned a bit of product design and how to use some tools, even though we go ahead sometimes. And they also learned a bit of design from us. So there was a sharing of ideas. And everything we learned in the Ashesi Design Lab was deepened just because we tried a real problem with the tools. So when they came down in Kofredia, it was mostly because we had already prepared design documentation for them to work on. So they could just come and start working on things because we had already done the initial design work. I already knew what people would like or what how the landscape of the market could look like. So that is how the Ashesi Design Lab deep dives actually helped us understand that we can use digital tools to actually collaborate with an Ivy League university in the USA and share ideas and both gain learning experiences. So from this, we have a few conclusions and recommendations to encourage more projects such as this, where they use digital tools to create a personalized learning approach, where the students are have active roles in their learning process. So the teacher just provides some support and structure, but the students are actively involved in their own learning, and it helps promote creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. Reason being, they get to think about things in different ways, think for themselves, and in sharing ideas with other universities and other people in other countries, you get to share mental models. The way you look at things will be different, and you become generally more smarter. You become generally smarter as well. So for future research, we think more projects like this should be carried out and monitored closely to understand how the different technologies could help improve different types of projects in different types of contexts, and the resources that we actually need to make this possible. And more documentation on the project to see how far we can go with this. So now the boy, which is myself, who thought he had missed out on an opportunity with his friends and some of his loved ones, I can actually now collaborate with my friends on projects in different countries simply by the use of digital tools, and that was made evident to me by my design lab project. And I think we can all do the same, because now we can have students in our schools who are talking to other students in other countries and sharing ideas to make them much smarter. And yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?
Mr. Brown-Pobee, for that wonderful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for questions, comments, suggestions, recommendations, and contributions. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm Dorothy Glover, and I was with I'm with the Ghana Education Service, and have been at the Secondary Education Division for about 15 years now. Looking at performances in secondary education, at the secondary education level, and your project, is there any possibility of your project supporting student learning from your angle? Is there any vision of going beyond your horizon and making the secondary education, secondary level student also gain some form of learning from your tools?
So, in essence, I think you're asking how can we use this in secondary education? Okay. The same principles apply to, except the project may be different because of what they're actually learning. But it's to help them take what they're learning in class and use it in the real world. Because a lot of times the things they learn are not put in context or perspective. So they think they're just learning it for the sake of it. But if they collaborate with another school or another institution, or they're learning about Pythagoras theorem, and they actually have to use it to build something, then they collaborate to make something using Pythagoras theorem. So I think it depends largely on what they are learning in class and creating a project that will help them use it in a real world problem. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any more questions or contributions?
Yeah, I think what my contribution to what she asked will be this, that your work is looking at how you've been able to adopt and adapt technology to influence projects working across different geographical locations, right? Now she's looking at it from how that can be transferred to a secondary education within Ghana. And what it could be is, let's take for example the National Science and Maths Quiz. Science students participate from, say, Agri, that school that just won, that I don't like. I went to St. Peter's, or say from St. Peter's, which is a very good school. Now, if we have good internet connection within the country, for example, the preparation team of St. Peter's could interact with the preparation team of, say, Presec, or say a school in Navrongo, or a different less endowed school, and they could become mentors for them, because it's perceived, and yes, we all know that Gehe, for example, is a good school. So Gehe's preparation team can now become a mentoring team for a school in Pada, for example, and that is possible with technology, but it's also built strongly on the presence of the required hardware and network facilities that we can put in place. But with a new national network backbone in place, all the secondary schools, for example, could be hooked onto it. Then your method that you've used in working on designs could even move beyond secondary education into mainframe research across the whole educational platform. And that's really possible. And that's where I see innovation in what they have done in the Ghanaian context. I hope my contribution shows light on what you want.
Thank you very much. Any more?
Are you done?
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a hand.